Hello, Mrs. Haley here, and thanks for watching. I'm starting to notice a flurry of activity on Google Classroom, and that can only mean one thing. It's the end of the year. We need to wrap things up, and we need to wrap them up right. So in this video, we're going to talk about three main topics. The first is missing assignments and late work. The second is the final. And three, what in the holy heck is happening in this crazy world right now? And how it's not actually the end of the world, even though it really, really looks like it, but now is not the time to give up hope. First things first, let's talk about wrapping this year up right. I hope you guys have enjoyed the comic book that I have put together for you on the Odyssey. I had a lot of fun making it. I hope you had just as much fun reading it and writing in your reading journals. I'm always very interested in reading your responses to the prompts. I find so many of you have these really interesting ways of looking at things. But at the same time, you all seem to have this unity to your values and how you think the world should be. And I feel like even though we are reading the Odyssey not together in our classes, but isolated at home, it's still very interesting to see your generation's values come forward. When I think about you guys and the values you have as collectives, I think of words like kindness and loyalty and family, and I'm really proud of you guys. But now let's get to business. As I record and release this, it is Monday, June 98th. Wow, I really wrote that. Certainly feels that way, doesn't it? Sorry. Okay. Today is June 8th. All of your late work is due Friday, June 12th at 5 p.m. If you turn it in later than 5 p.m. on Friday, I cannot promise you that you will get credit. Repeat after me. All my missing assignments are due Friday, June 12th at 5 p.m. Okay, I'm going to wait right here until you say it out loud. Okay, the next point of business is the final. The final is going to be released on Google Classroom on June 9th at noon. It's going to be the finale of the Odyssey, the issue where Odysseus finally goes medieval on all those suitors. And you're going to fill out a reading journal. There is going to be a part two. Part two is it's a little bit different than the kind of final you're used to. You're going to write a letter to your future self, the you of 2023. Picture it. We're 3 years into the future, and you're about to graduate high school. We're past the pandemic, past the civil unrest, past this year's election. What do you want to say to this person, this future you? What do you want them to remember about what's going on today, who you are, what your values are like, when we actually get there to that point in time in 2023, right before you're ready to graduate? I'm going to get you this letter. I think this is going to be the most interesting year that I've ever done this exercise because this is the most interesting year I have ever been alive. Your final is due, just like everything else, June 12th at 5 p.m. Okay, I would like to talk to you about what's been going on in the world lately. We are constantly being bombarded with really graphic images of violence, civil unrest, massive demonstrations. And all of this is happening during a pandemic that has killed more Americans than the Vietnam War. Plus, we all have the pain and isolation of dealing with this during a time we can't be with the people who make life feel bearable in the first place. Look, guys, I know many of you are dealing with just really severe anxiety, depression, and just an overabundance of fear. I know that because I'm also experiencing these things. But I need you guys not to close your eyes. You are watching history. I need you to remember the lessons we learned in class from our unit on the civil rights movement of the 1960s. Guys, we read Dr. Martin Luther King's words in the I Have a Dream speech very closely for a reason. A lot of people like to gloss over the messier parts of history. People like to remember that speech for its vision of racial harmony. I mean, the one quote everyone remembers is, "I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Beautiful. It's 100% beautiful. It's a good message. But you and I, because we read the speech very closely, know that Dr. King had a lot to say. He described how the framers of the Constitution wrote a promise of freedom to its people, and that America has failed to deliver on that promise to a lot of its people. Martin Luther King also made a point to discuss what he called the urgency of now.
To remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy.
Right now, you are watching history. Guys, it's not time to give up hope. There's a natural order to the universe. It goes from chaos to order, chaos to order. And this is true even on the molecular level. The Big Bang was chaos, but it resulted in the entire universe with all of its order, like gravity, thermodynamics, and physics. An animal dies and its molecules go into decay and chaos. But that energy is transformed into the order of a blade of grass, or food for scavengers, which is food for omnivores, which is food for us carnivores. Chaos is inevitable, but there's always a return to order. What we're seeing right now out there is chaos, but there will be a return to order. What that's going to look like, I'm not entirely sure, but I see a lot of things out there to be hopeful about. The people of this country and all over the world are making their voices heard in a way that no one alive today has ever witnessed. You are watching the biggest civil rights movement in the history of the world. Take heart. Know that you are important and that you matter. And I'm going to ask you a big favor. I need your generation to be better than mine, my parents, my grandparents. I need you to remember your values. When one of us falls, the rest of us stand up. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and know that I'm always going to be here for you, okay, guys? All right, so that concludes our video wrap-up. Remember, get your assignments done and to me by Friday at 5. And if you need anything, then text it to me. You guys have my information on Remind. Be safe, be good. I love you guys. Text me if you need me.